Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into the weeds on a pretty interesting genre film from this year, Coyotes.
Yeah, the 2025 release.
Exactly. We've looked at a whole bunch of reviews, and it's fascinating, really, how critics seem almost split down the middle, but like in agreement about why they're split. Paradoxical.
It really is. A film people seem to enjoy, despite its flaws, maybe. The premise itself is, well, it's pure anxiety fuel, you know?
Definitely sounds like it.
Yeah, it's basically a high-stakes B-movie. You've got the Stewart family, Scott, Liv, and their daughter, Chloe. They're rich, live up in the Hollywood Hills.
Okay.
And then, boom, massive wildfire, big windstorm, and they're trapped.
Yeah.
But the twist, the fire pushes this, like, coordinated pack of super aggressive coyotes right to their doorstep.
Wow, okay. Coordinated even.
That's the setup. So they're basically under siege in their own fancy house.
Right, chaos. And that seems to be why critics called it things like fun, gnarly, visceral, a proper horror comedy creature feature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they pointed out some really fundamental problems, big flaws.
Yep.
So our mission today is to unpack that tension. What actually worked, according to the reviews, and where did Coyotes just completely miss the mark?
Okay, let's start with the good stuff, the strengths. Pretty much everyone agreed that, as a straightforward B-movie thrill ride, it delivered.
So, entertaining, basically.
Entertaining, yeah. The director, Colin Minahan, he apparently nailed the intense attack scenes. Lots of visceral, R-rated gore and genuine thrills. If you came for animals attacking people,
you got your money's worth.
You definitely got that. And apparently done with some effective practical grit, which people appreciated.
Interesting, because you often hear complaints when practical effects aren't used, especially in creature features. But what about the characters? I heard that was surprisingly strong.
Yeah, that's actually maybe the film's biggest strength, according to a lot of the reviews. The chemistry between Justin Long and Kate Bosworth.
The real-life couple playing the couple in the film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Long plays Scott, the husband, sort of an emasculated comic book artist type. And Bosworth is Liv, the wife, who's more pragmatic and kind of steps up as the main hero.
Okay.
And that real spark between them, it made the family drama feel real. It upped the stakes for their survival, made you actually care.
Right, not just cardboard cutouts waiting to be attacked.
Precisely. And this also feeds into the comedy part of the horror comedy equation.
Ah, yes. How did that land?
Pretty well, it seems, especially the supporting characters. Critics consistently mentioned a couple of really bizarre, funny ones. There's like this clueless exterminator who shows up.
Oh boy. Bad timing.
Terrible timing. And then there's this totally coke-up neighbor who's mainly trying to protect his lady friend. Apparently, these bits offered some genuinely unhinged comic relief.
So it sounds like they were really swinging for the fences, trying to balance that intense family panic with some completely ridiculous side characters.
Yeah, I think that was the goal. High-low, like you said, intense horror, goofy comedy.
But that leads us to the problems, doesn't it?
It really does. Because that balancing act, that was also maybe its biggest weakness. The most consistent criticism was about the tone.
Inconsistent.
Wildly inconsistent, apparently. The film just couldn't quite figure out how to blend the goofy black comedy stuff like that Neighbor with the really serious life and death family drama and the, brutal coyote attack.
So it felt jarring, like tonal whiplash.
Exactly. Whiplash is a good word for it. Reviewers said, just when you're getting invested in the terror, some gag lands so hard or so goofily, it just pulls you right out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it never really finds a groove.
Yeah, prevents it from settling into a consistent rhythm. Makes the whole experience feel kind of uneven, maybe even scattered.
And then there's the other big one, the coyotes themselves, the CGI.
Oof, yeah, that came up a lot. Unconvincing CGI coyotes.
What did they mean specifically? Like bad animation?
Kind of. Critics used words like artificial, synthetic, even AI-like.
AI-like. What does that even look like for a coyote?
Well, I think they meant they lacked weight, maybe texture, and the movement felt off sort of uncanny valley territory.
Right.
And if your whole movie hinges on the threat of these animals, well, if they look like bad video game characters, it completely kills the menace, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially if other parts, like the gore, felt practical and real, undercuts it completely.
Totally. And that sort of ties into the final big frustration critics had. It felt like a missed opportunity.
For depth.
Yeah, for anything deeper. It just defaulted to being a pretty standard survival story. Home invasion, but with animals.
Even though it had all those elements? the Hollywood setting, the wildfires.
Right. It had the setup to talk about class, maybe climate change, anxiety with the fires pushing wildlife out, or even just some sharp satire about LA culture.
But it didn't go there.
Nope. Played it totally straight. Functional plot, but thematically pretty shallow.
Okay, so let's wrap this up for the listener. What's the final takeaway here?
Well, it seems like if you're looking for just a straightforward kind of fun, action-packed, animals attack movie, something for a midnight screening where you can just switch your brain off.
Coyotes might actually hit the spot. It delivers the gore, the thrills, decent performances.
Exactly. But, if you were hoping for clever satire or maybe top-tier special effects that really sell the threat,
then you'll probably be disappointed. It falls short on those counts.
Yeah. Which leads to kind of a provocative thought, maybe.
Good one.
Well, given the real-world context, wildfires are pushing animals into suburbs more often. So what does it say that this film, with that backdrop, actively avoided any real commentary on class or the environment?
What does it suggest?
Maybe it just suggests that right now, there's a real appetite for pure, unfiltered escapism in horror. That sometimes we just want to watch the chaos, watch the animals attack, without having to think too hard about the bigger picture.
Just pure visceral entertainment.
Could be. Something to chew on. Anyway.